born. Trooper Payala. State's resident.
Payala, Bon, Yahawada, Bon, Yasharala.
Yeah. Payala, Ben Yahawada, Ben Yashala.
Yahawah by Hashem, Yahawah Shabbarakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshabaradah.
This one, we gotta sit down.
The young ones is wine. Although this is the Day of Atonement, we perform the Sabbath service exactly.
To Israel,
Which means
La Rashala, which means to Israel.
Shafar, which means born. And Majim in the room, which means stand. So Tuli Hakudum, which means turn and face the east. I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakata, Kaba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Shah, Barataza, Bawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathunna, Lacham, Kalion, Kasalakna, Kawakna, Kasalakna, Kawakna, Kawa'ah, Kabiyana, Panasai 1, Ball, Kawashino, Mayan, Rod, Hayah, Lakah, Amalakwa, Allah, Batapara, I will love you, Amen. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be. Prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Babakashah, Nathanael, Bakah, Narpa, Kalmakala, Kalmarawa, Akah, Latahar, Matazariah, Akah, Bakwayam, Amakim, Akah, Arakawat, Shamal, Agarashan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Waraman. In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ai Yanya, Al-Hahari, Mayan, Gaba'ah, Azari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Maratiza, Aliyah, Amawat, Regalta, Aliyah Wum, Shamar, Kana, Ma'ayah Wum,
I am the one.
Wala'aya Yeshun.
I Yeshua.
Shawamar Yasha'al.
Shalom Yeshua.
Yahweh Shamarka.
Yahweh Shemarka.
Yahweh Tazalka.
Yahweh Tazalka.
Ayaliyad Yom Yunka.
Al Yad Yom Yonka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Ashmash.
Ashmash.
La'aya Kaka.
Ayataka.
Wayarach Balayla.
Wayarath Walaya.
Yahweh Yashamarka.
Yahweh Shemarka.
Makal Ra.
Call Ra.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
After Pashka.
Ahapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'at.
Taza'at.
Babu'ak.
Wabawak.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Adawalam.
I am alone.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth
From this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Wait, Salafi, the sound, using these microphones also,
No.
because it sounds back there, it sounds forward.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Al-Hayim,
Al-Damiyalika,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Karash,
Wa-Al-Tashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
Allah,
Allah,
Kayahana,
Kayana,
Awiyabika,
Al-Yabika,
Yahamiyawan,
Yahweh,
Wamishanayika,
Ramashanayaka,
Nasha'aw,
Nasha'aw,
Ra'ash,
Rash,
Al-Imika,
Al-Ayman,
Ya'ira Yumwa,
Yahweh,
Sawad,
Sawad,
Wa-Yathayai Tazawat,
Wayatayai Tazawa,
Al-Tazabawanyika,
Al-Tazawa,
Amaro,
Amaro,
Akawa,
Kaw,
Wanakakiram,
Wanakaki,
Nagoya,
Goy,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shumya Sha'al,
Shamyashah,
Aiwa,
Aiwa,
Kayah,
Kayah,
Nawai Tazawat,
Alai Tazawa,
Labia Kadwa,
Labikan,
Alika,
Ali,
Baryath,
Baryat,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarath,
Ahali,
Ahali,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Washamalia,
Washmael,
Mawa'aba,
Moab,
Wahagari,
Hagari,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan, Wa'aimalak,
Amalak,
Halashak,
Halashah,
I'm Yashabi,
Ayishaba,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Aimah,
Ayawa,
Aywa,
Zarawat,
Zarawat,
Banyalawat,
Banyalawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalahum,
Ashalahum,
Hamadian,
Hamadian,
Isaiah Sarah,
Messiah Sarah,
Yabin,
Yad,
Banakal,
Manakal,
Bayashwan,
Rashwan,
Nashamadu,
Shamad,
Bayandara,
Ayandarawa,
Ayawa,
Aywa,
Daman,
Damah,
Ladama,
Adamah,
Shadamu,
Shayatamu,
Nadiyamu,
Nadayamu,
Ta'ira,
Ira,
Wakazab,
Kaza'ab,
Wakazabak,
Kazabah,
Wakatazalmana,
Kazal,
Kalasakumwa,
Kazakamu,
the Shah,
Shah,
Amaru,
Amaru,
Nair Shah,
Nairashah,
Anawat,
Manawa,
Ah,
Ah,
Nawat,
Nawa,
Alhaim,
Alhayy,
Alhayat,
Alhayyah,
Shadamu,
Shayatamu,
Magagala,
Galga,
Akwash,
Gwash,
Punyaraka,
Panyaka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Nabari Ira,
Ira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakalahala,
Delahat,
Salahat,
Hari,
Hari,
Contra
Kandarat,
Masirika,
Sa'ira,
Wabaso Pakta,
Vasapah,
the Bahalam,
Bahalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Punyam,
Panyam,
Malawan,
Malawan,
Wabakwashwa,
Wabakashwa,
Shamka,
Shanka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wabashwa,
Wabashwa,
Shibahaw,
Wabahol,
Ide Ide,
Ayanai,
Wekaparu,
Wabakapar,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabad,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadai,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Yatha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shanka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Aliwan,
Aliwan,
I'll call Haratiza.
Alhayy,
In the English, keep not thou silence, O my power.
He does not silence all my power.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still, O my power.
and be not still with thy power.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a moment,
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
and they that hate thee have lifted up thy head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, Come,
They have said, Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
The name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
will be no more in remembrance.
So they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee,
are confederate against
the
the
tabernacles of Edom,
tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of
and
Moab,
the Hagarites,
and the Hagarites,
the Baal,
the Baal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
A sword also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
the brook of Kisa,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zed.
like Sayed.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Sabbath,
and as Dalmunna,
and as Salmon,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
Let us take to ourselves
the houses of the Most High in possession.
the house of the Most High in possession.
O my power,
O my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame and perish,
let them be put to shame and perish.
that men may know that thou,
That they know that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
is the Most High over all the earth.
Pray for the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Yahweh Shah?
Why Mayaka'al?
Why Yahweh?
Why Lahai?
Why Yahweh?
Matazabi ala Wapihan.
Matasabaya Alawak Yahana.
Ha ala Wapi.
Alawak.
Ha Sarani.
Asaranya.
Ha Patazayani.
Akatazayayan.
Ha Chayayali.
Akayayayan.
Waha Akwafim.
Wahalawak.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Ma'ashem Yahweh.
Wada Amun. In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yahweh.
The generals.
General.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
And assistants.
And sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Prayer for the prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
Speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake
The
loose.
treasure of the rich of Israel.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
They have refused to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their
To
riches.
enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and
And
curses.
punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And the drug
The
dealers.
court system.
Court
The
system.
prison
The
system.
prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and
The
armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
The Army.
The Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
The cable access channel.
Cable access
And the
channel.
radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
of any of thy people. that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way and try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down to flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. So I face the front. The Shadu, which means be seated. We're back in the Day of Atonement on this Sabbath. Everybody should be aware of that. Nobody should be eating, drinking, consuming anything at this point. The Day of Atonement began last night at sundown and will finish this evening at sundown. But at the Sabbath service, we're in Genesis 28. We're going to pick this up at verse 12 in the Hebrew. Genesis chapter 28 and verse 12. HARLEM, Wahana, Salam, Matazab, Aratazah, or Ra'ashwa, Mawiyai, Hashemayim, Wahana, Malaakia, Alahayim, Alium, Wayaradium, Bawa, verse 13, Wahana, Yahweh, Natazab, Aliwa, Wayamar, Anya, Yahweh, Alahaya, Abraham, Abyaka, Wa'alahaya, Yatazachak, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Atha, Shakab, Aliwa, Laka, Athana, Walazarika, verse 14, Wahaya, Zarika, Ka'ipar, Harataza, Waparatazath, Yama, Wakwadama, Watazapana, Wananaba, Wanabarakwa, Baka, Kal, Mashapakath, Ha'adama, Wabazarika, verse 15, Wahana, Anakia, Imika, Washamarathika, Bakal, Ashar, Dalak, Washabathika, Al Ha'adama, Hazaath, Kaya, La'ah, Izabak, Salaki, Id, Ashar, Ishayathia, Ath, Ashar, Abarathia, Laka, verse 16, Wayaquataza, Yaiquab, Mashanathwa, Wayamar, Akun, Yash Yahweh, Bamakawum, Hazah, Wa'anakia, La'ah, Yadaithya, verse 17, Wayara'ah, Wayamar, Ma'nawa'ra'ah, Hamakawum, Hazah, Ayun, Zakaya, Bayath, Alahayim, Wazah, Sha'ir, Hashemayim, verse 18, Wayashakam, Ya'iqab, Babaquar, Wayaquach, Ath, Ha'abun, Ashar, Shum, Marashathua, Wayashum, Athah, Matazabah, Wayatazakak, Shamun, Al Ra'ashah, Salak. And back to the English from verse 12.
Genesis 28, verse 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascended and descended on it. Verse 13.
So this is Jacob on his journey. He tarried in a certain place at night, and this is the dream that he had. This is Jacob's ladder. Go ahead.
And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abram, thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land whereon thy lieth, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed.
So this was in Jacob's dream. He was shown a vision of a ladder that was going up into the heavens and the angels going up and down on it. And the Most High told him that he was going to give that land to him and to his seed. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and thy seed shall be as the dust on the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west and to the east, and to the north and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
So first of all, the dust of the earth, that's not a joke. Jacob's seed was spread out all to the four corners of the earth. You can find Israel everywhere on the planet if you look hard enough. Just in the Americas alone, the number of us is beyond comprehension. And then the Most High promised that in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And what does that mean? When the kingdom is established, the world is going to be in harmony because they're all going to be subjugated and they're all going to be following the law of the Most High without a choice, without an option. They're not going to be left to their own heathen devices to, do whatever the Chinese over there doing, eating rats and boiling bats and things and violating children freely.
Verse 15, and behold, I am thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of.
So this is heavy. We've been following Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the way that the Lord has been with them, the way that it's been clear on all their journeys that the Lord has been with them. And imagine this moment where you're receiving this promise that the Lord is with you, going to be with you, going to protect you wherever you're going, and is going to bring you back into this land where you're at and give it to your descendants. That's heavy.
Verse 16, and Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. Verse 17, and he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Verse 18, and Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillow and set it up as a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it.
All right, so we're gonna go back to the Hebrew. In Genesis chapter 28 and verse 19. Wayakara athshum hamakuam hawa bayath Allah wa awalam lawaz shum ha'ayar ra'ashana. Verse 20. Wayadar ya'aikwab nadar la'amar am yahaya alahayim ahmadya washamaranya Badarak, Hazah, Ashar, Anakya, Hawalak, Wanathan, Leah, Lachum, Lakal, Wabagad, Lalabash, verse 21, Washabathya, Bashalom, Al Bayath, Abya, Wahaya, Yahweh, Layah, La Alahayim, verse 22. Wahabun, Ha Za'ath, Ashar, Shemathia, Matazabah, Yahaya, Bayath, Alahayim, Wakal, Ashar, Thathan, Layah, Ashar, Aishar, Aisharunwa, Wakah, chapter 29 and verse 1. Wayashah, Yaikwab, Regalia, Wayalak, Aratazah, Bunya, Quadum, verse 2. Wayara'ah, Wahana, Ba'ar, Bashadah, Wahana, Shum, Shalashah, Idaria, Taza'an, Rabatazayan, Aliyah, Kayaman, Haba'ar, Hawa'ah, Yeshakwa, Ha'idarium, Wahabun, Gadalah, Al-Payah, Haba'ar, and verse 3. Wana Asapwa, Shema, Kal, Ha'idarium, Wagalalwa, Ath, Ha'bun, Ma'al, Payah, Haba'ar, Washakwa, Ath, Hataza'an, Wahashayabwa, Ath, Ha'bun, Al, Payah, Haba'ar, Lamakoma, and back to the English from verse 19.
Genesis 28, verse 19. And he called the name of that place Bethel. But
Bethel, which in the Hebrew is Bayath Allah, the house of the Most High. Keep going.
but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. Verse 20.
And we don't care what the heathens called it before Jacob gave it a name. Go ahead.
And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me, I will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on. Verse 21. So that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. Verse 22. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee.
Which, I mean, that's basic. It ain't hard to recognize that if the Lord gave you everything, that you could give a tenth back and a recognition from that. If you can't part with a tenth of what you gave, then don't be surprised when the Lord stops giving it to you. Keep going.
Verse 29. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and the great stone was upon the well's mouth. Verse 3. And thither where all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place.
So imagine he finally came upon a well, and they had a great stone so that nobody could just roll up and access this well. So they probably had, 5 men had to push this stone off and put it back so they could water the sheep and the flocks. But back to the Hebrew from verse 4. Wayamar lahum yaikwab achya ma'yan athum wayamarwa maharan anachnoa. Verse 5. Wayamar lahum hayadaithim athlabun banachwar wayamarwa wadinawa. Verse 6. Wayamar lahum hashalom lawa wayamarwa shalom wahana rachal bathwa ba'a aim hatazan. Verse 7. Wayamar hun Iwad, Hayawam, Gadal, Gadawal, La'a, Aith, Hasap, Hamakuna, Hashakwa, Hatazan, Walakwa, Raiwa. Verse 8. Wayamar wa La'a, Nawakal, Idashar, Yasapur, Kal, Ha'idarium, Wagalalwa, Ath, Habun, Ma'al, Paya, Haba'ar, Washakyanwa, Hatazan. Verse 9. Iwadnawa, Madabar, Imam, Warakal, Ba'a, Aim, Hatazan, Ashar, La'abia, Kaya, Ra'aya, Hawa'ah. Verse 10. Wayahaya, Kashar, Ra'ah, Yaikwab, Athrachal, Bathlabun, Akia, Amwa, Wa'ath, Tazan, Laban, Akia Amwa, Wayagash, Yaikwab, Wayagal, Ath Habun, Ma'al Paya, Haba'ar, Wayashak, Ath Tazan, Laban, Akia Amwa. And back to the English from verse 4.
Genesis 28, verse 4. And Jacob said unto him, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, O Haran are we. Verse 5. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban, the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. Verse 6. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well, and behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep.
So remember, this is all Jacob's family. Everyone in here, even when it says of Haran are we, Haran was Abraham's nephew, if I'm getting it right. But this is all Jacob's extended family, because this is, even at this time, before we had the lineage of Israel, we still had a concept of you got to keep it close. There's a family that's us that we can deal with, and then there's the rest. And then of course Jacob's seed would be chosen, and everyone else would be excluded after that. But at this point, this is his family. This is who he's looking for. Keep going.
Verse 7. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep and go and feed them. Verse 8. And they said, we cannot until the flocks be gathered today, and till then, and till they roll, Salakia, the stone from the well's mouth, then we water the sheep.
And so Jacob's probably trying to get some water himself. He said, let's water the sheep. And they said we can't do it until they come and roll this stone. Like I said, it probably took like 5 men to roll this stone from the well's mouth. Keep going.
Verse 9. And while ye speak with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. Verse 10. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban's, his mother's brother.
So Jacob was thrilled to see Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother. This was this was his family, but not close enough. And just a reminder, your cousin is not unlawful according to the scriptures, but we're in 2024. Please don't go looking for your cousins to marry at your family reunion. That is not necessary. It's weird. Don't do it. You're not Jacob. Back to the Hebrew. Matter of fact, I match him up here.
Sha'athwan, Banaparium, Banyasharala.
Sha'athwan, Bonaparium, Banyashala.
Yahweh Hashem Yehoshai Barakathum.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakah.
Pick it up in the Hebrew from verse 11.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 11. Vayashak, Ya'ikwa, Barakal, Vayashah, Palawa, Wayabak. Verse 12. Vayagad, Ya'ikwa, Barakal, Vaya, Akya, Abya, Hawa'a, Wakiya, Ban, Rabakwa, Hawa, Watharata, Wathara, Tazah, Wathagad, Laabya. Verse 13. Wayahaya, Hashamai, Laban, Shammai, Ya'ikwa, Ban, Akathwa, Wayaratazah, Lakparathwa, Wayakabak, Lawa, Wayanashak, Lawa, Wayabaya, Awa, Al, Wayahwa, Wayasapar, Balaban, Ah, Kal, Hadabarium, Ha'ala. Verse 14. Waya Amar, Lawa, Laban, Ak, Aitazaamya, Babasharya, Atha, Wayashab, Aimwa, Kadash, Yam Yam. Verse 15. Waya Amar, Laban, Loyaikwab, Akiyah, Akiyah, Atha, Waibadathan, Ya, Kanam, Hagayada, Laya, Ma'a, Mashakarathka. Verse 16. While Laban, Shathia, Banwath, Sham, Hagadalah, La'a, Washam, Hakotana, Rakal. Verse 17. Wayanya, La'a, Rakawath, Warakal, Hayatha, Yapath, the Ar, Wayapath, Mara'ah.
Back to the English.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 11. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 12. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. Verse 13. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. Verse 14. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
Meaning that was his family, and so he stayed with him. This was like a reunion. They knew each other. I mean, this is basic. This part explains itself. You can imagine what's happening. Jacob's on his travels. He comes across his extended family. Keep going.
Verse 15. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? Verse 16. And Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel.
Yeah, Jacob knew what he wanted for his wages. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
So Leah was tender-eyed. She was sweet. We'll go into this. Matter of fact, what was that word in the Hebrew? Let's see. It says Leah's eyes, her ayanya la'ah rakowath, were delicate and tender. So she had that, that soft look that, sometimes you see a sister, she might not be, as beautiful as the next one, but she got a look in her eyes. It's just, draws you in. She look at her, you think, oh, she's sweet. I could be around her for a while. I could deal with her. But Rachel was beautiful and well favored. Rachel's the one that caught his eyes right away. Back to the Hebrew.
Genesis 29, verse 18. Wayahab, Yaquab, Ath, Rakal, Wayamar, Aibadaka, Shabai, Shanyam, Barakal.
Shabbai Shunyam. We went over numbers and years a lot earlier. Shabbai Shunyam. That's 7 years. 7 years. This brother was willing to work for this woman to have her as a wife. You find me a woman out there that's worth working 7 hours for. 7 years, he didn't even hesitate to agree to labor, not to have her in the meantime. He had to work 7 years just to get her at the end of the 7 years. He didn't hesitate, just off looking at her, just off that first impression of interacting with her, of seeing her every day while he was staying with Laban, seeing how she moved, how she conducted herself. If you're around one of these women out here in this world for a month, watching the way she carries herself and conducts herself, you'll agree to work 7 years just to get away from her. This is how our women were in the ancient times. This is how our women are when we are serving our God. It's as simple as that. And so we're in the middle of the Day of Atonement, and this is a heavy, heavy, holy day in the year where we learn how to serve our God, where we train ourselves to deny our flesh, to serve the will of the Most High. And if we can do that as a nation, then we would have women worth working 7 years for. Keep going.
Khan. Bathka, Pakotana. Verse 19. Waya Amar, Laban, Tawab, Bathanya, Atha, Baka, Bathanya, Atha, Layash, Akar, Shabbat, Imadja. Verse 20. Waya Iquab, Salakia. Waya Ibad, Ya Iquab, Barakal, Shabai, Shanyam, Waya Haya, Wa, Ba'ayan Yawa, Kayamyam, Akadyam, Bahabathwa, Atha. Verse 21. Waya Amar, Ya Iquab, Al, Laban, Haba, Ath, Ashafia, Kaya, Malawa, Yamya, Wabawa'a, Alya. Verse 22. Wayasap, Laban, Ath, Kal, Anashia, Hamakawam, Wayaish, Lashatha. Verse 23. Wayahaya, Vairab, Wayakwak, Ath, La'a, Bathwa, Wayaba'a, Atha, Al-Yawa, Wayaba, Al-Ya. Verse 24.
Which, by the way, before we pass it up, Leah's name, La'ah in the Hebrew, means, according to the definition, means weary. I don't know why she was named that, but father saw fit to. I know, that's all right. I know I'm going to name my kids something crazy, too. I can already see it. Go ahead.
Verse 24. Wayathan, Laban, La, Ath, Zalapah, Shapakathwa, Lala'ah, Bathwa, Shapakah.
Back to the English.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 18. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. Verse 19.
Without hesitation, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel. I see what she is. I see how she acts. She's beautiful. I want her 7 years, whatever you want. I just want her. That's a beautiful thing. That's how you have a nation, having women worth doing things like that for. That is the foundation of a strong nation, is wanting to go out and conquer for your woman, wanting to do anything that you wanting to build your family up. And we had beautiful sisters in the ancient times that were worth doing all these things for. And that's why it's so important to fight back and to push back against all the garbage that you see out there today. Because our nation can never come together when our women are in this state. And it can never come together when men allow women to be in this state. Because they can only be like that. They can only be the way that they are. They can only be the whores they are. They can only be the loudmouth, degenerate freaks that they are, because there's dudes lined up waiting, trying to get with every one of them. There's some simp out there that's willing to work for 7 years for one of these strippers. How are we going to build a nation up like that? If men don't start being men and having standards for women and having dominance and masculinity over women, then, we just going in circles. Read.
Okay. Verse 19. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Verse 20.
So that was his way of saying, you can have her. Go ahead.
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days.
They seemed but a few days, because this sister was so beautiful and carried herself so well and was so about it that he didn't even see the 7 years go by because he couldn't wait to get to her. It was but a few days. This is the most beautiful love story. There's nothing out there that can compare to this, to Jacob and Rachel. 7 years on sight. Agreed without hesitation, and then they flew by and seemed but a few days because he was just thinking about this wife that he was going to have and the life that he was going to build around this family that he couldn't wait because he saw the type of woman that she was, and he didn't see no problems in the future. He didn't see no, I'm going to get with her and I'm going to have to battle her every day. I'm gonna wake up to her yelling at me about something from the other room. My phone's gonna be blowing up with her asking where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to go back home every day to an argument. She gonna go out with her girlfriends and hoe around. I'm gonna have to worry about whether she hoeing every time she leave the house because she's a nasty degenerate. He wasn't thinking all that. He wasn't thinking the things that brothers in this hell have to think every day, have to deal with every day, because he had a beautiful woman, a beautiful sister that he knew was going to hold it down. He knew that his woman wasn't going to go on Twitter and post about how men ain't nothing and they're only good as long as they paying the bills. And he had a woman worth making sacrifices for. That's a beautiful thing. And I'm going to keep stressing it. It's not coming back. Because brothers love complaining about the state of our women online and talking about how men should be and how men should run things, how masculine you are. Well, if that's the case, then take responsibility for the state of our women. If you're the leader, if men are the leaders, then why are they like that out there? Why, leaders? This only changes when men are on point, when we demand better. They are following our lead. We're accepting this. That's why you're seeing a little bit of a shift now, like with the dialogue online. You're seeing a little bit like a lot of these women are starting to get older and they're starting to be alone and they're starting to realize, oh, damn, this doesn't work. This crazy attitude I've had, all this stuff about I'm an independent woman, this don't work. They're starting to learn the hard way. Yet and still, the younger generation is still pushing it hard as ever because it's being pushed on them. Because there's no source to say this is where you went wrong. This is how it actually works. And these scriptures is how it actually works. And as long as you brothers is out there being simps and going and chasing after whores and sluts, it's not going to change. We're not getting Rachel back.
You still on this game on it?
Yeah.
Oh, you still here?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. So like, if I may, you're dropping it so heavy. That's like Vivica Fox right now.
Yeah.
Now she want to get off the market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Meanwhile, she was whoring all her life.
Yep.
Now she stopped. You know what I mean? Now she stopped being whore and realized that she don't want to be a cat lady because that's what she's gonna be. She's gonna be a cat lady with all money, with all the money. Salaki.
Absolutely. And they gave Angel Reese a podcast, which is the goofiest thing I've ever seen. They gave Angel Reese a podcast. For anybody who's not aware, Angel Reese is in her rookie season in the WNBA. She graduated college a year ago, but now she's got a podcast giving relationship advice. A few months ago, she had a press conference where she was crying about being sexualized, and all week she's gone out and she's gone to the game in shorts with her cheeks hanging out, a shirt that said "getting effed" or something like that, and yet she's complaining that the media is sexualizing her. She's not sexualizing herself by dressing like a stripper. Everyone else is sexualizing her. Anyway, on her podcast, she had Trevor Kelsey's ex. Before Taylor Swift, he was with a black woman. And so she's on the podcast now talking all about him, complaining about him, talking about how after he dumped her, she went to a Halloween party dressed as Taylor Swift, thinking that now she's talking to Angel Reese, and they're like, "Oh, you got him with that one." He don't care. He's about to marry Taylor Swift. He don't care about you. But in these women's heads, these stupid little petty things somehow make up for the way that you were. And, she shouldn't have been with a white boy in the first place, obviously. But if she was with a brother, she would have done him even worse. And they, in their minds, they're like Angel Reese was like, "Oh, yeah, you clocked this. Girl, no. You're airheads." And they're going to keep going in circles like this into their 30s, into their 40s. If they have a child, they'll be a single mother. They may be childless, and then they'll be miserable, sad, and bitter. And it's because they're being validated. Because when those videos of Angel Reese in these outfits go up, for every brother that's saying this is terrible, this is a shame, there's brothers, drooling over it. And that's the problem. You're the problem. If you're drooling over these whores, you're the problem in the black and Hispanic community. You're not a leader. You're not a man. You're a simp. Read.
What you're saying is so heavy. We got a little bit of time to talking about this because you know what I'm saying. Our slave master is such a deceitful bastard. You know what I'm saying. This kingdom is such a disgusting bastard. This kingdom gave a show. You know what I'm saying. A show to some young woman that don't know anything about nothing. That don't have no standards. What you know what I'm saying? Our oppressor taught her morals. Where's our moral compass coming from? Joe Biden? Where are morals coming from? Donald Trump? What is this? You know what I'm saying? Our people but our people are such sheep. You know what I mean? We're such a gullible people. We're such gullible people. And we're gonna look for, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to this young woman that don't have no moral compass. A moral compass, you know, come from people who celebrate Thanksgiving of unaliving people. This is where we come from. This is what you get our standards. But Abu Gashar, pull up that scripture. Pull up that scripture right there.
Chapter and verse.
No, that's what I said. 20 and 9. Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha 20 and 9. 20 and 9. But this is what, you know what I'm saying? This is what our people, you got it? All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20, verse 9. There is a sinner that has good success in evil things, and there is a gain that turneth to loss.
So right there, it says it right there. Read that from the top.
From the top, Ecclesiasticus 20, verse 9. There is a sinner.
There's a what?
A sinner.
Say that again.
A sinner.
There is a sinner. This is a sinner right here. But this person don't really, you know what I'm saying? They so, you know what I'm saying, incorporated in the upbringing of the wrongdoing, they normalize the sin. They normalize the sin. So there's a sinner, which she is.
There is a sinner that has good success.
She got good success. She's in the WNBA, NBA. She getting all the monies. You know what I'm saying? She getting shows. People's coming her for some advice. It's good. You know what I'm saying? This sinner sees good success. But they see good success in what?
That have good success in evil things.
And what?
Good success in evil things.
There's good success in evil things. You know what I mean? This is an evil thing, but but we look towards it as that's a good success right there. You know what I mean? It's a good success that, you know what I'm saying, you only bought it 2 babies, not 5. That's a good success. You know what I'm saying? A good success is that, you know what I'm saying? A good success that, what? Your father never been to jail. That's a good success. A good success, you know what I'm saying, to our people. Oh, he's the first one to graduate, you know what I'm saying, out of high school in his family. That's a good success. This is what we look at. No, that's not a good success. We're supposed to not be in jail. We should not be whore. You know what I'm saying? We should not abort our people. That's the good success. But in this kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Sin is a good success. I like it.
Ooh, that's facts.
Khan, for the love he had to her. Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
So now he finished the 7 years, and he wanted his wife to go in unto her. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening.
Which, by the way, you know, that they threw a party. That's a good thing. You know, we stress that a wedding or a marriage is not about a ceremony. It's not about any of that. But that doesn't mean we didn't do it. Israel loved a party. It's a good thing to have a party, throw a feast, you know, to celebrate a man and you know, taking a wife. It's just not what makes a marriage. It's not required. What makes a marriage is what's about to happen. Go on.
Khan, verse 23. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her.
So he took Leah and sent her in there. Now, this is one of the best scriptures to explain that sex is marriage. You can't get around this one. Because if sex is not what constitutes and what defines marriage, then none of this can happen. None of this means anything. Keep going.
This is all unlawful right here. It's being unlawful. You know what I'm saying? If this is not marriage, which is what is happening, it's unlawful. And did God sign off on just having sex?
Right.
Good.
Verse 24. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah, his maid, for an handmaid.
All right, so we're getting thick into it, but we're going to come back to it. We're going to go back to the Hebrew for verse 25.
Khan. Genesis chapter 29, verse 25. Wayahaya, Babakwar, Bahana, Hawa'a, La'ah, Waya Amar, Al, Laban, Ma, Za'ah, Aishayah, Layah, Hala'ah, Barakal, Ibadathia, Imakah, Walama, Ramyathanya. Verse 26. Waya Amar, Laban, La'ah, Ya'isha, Khan, Bamakwa, Wamanwa, Dathan, Hatazai, Yara, Lapanya, Habaka, Yara. Verse 27. Mala'ah, Shabai, Za'ath, Warathan, Na, Lakah, Gam, Ath, Za'ath, Ba'ibadah, Ashar, the Ibad, Imadya, Iwad, Shabai, Shanyam, Akrawath. Verse 28. Wayaish, Yaikwab, Khan, Wayamala'ah, Shabai, Za'ath, Wayathan, Lawa, Ath, Rakal, Bathwa, Lawa, La'asha. Verse 29. Wayathan, Laban, Larakal, Bathwa, Ath, Balaha, Shapakathwa, La'ah, Lashapaka. Verse 30. Wayaba'ah, Gam, Al, Rakal, Wayahab, Gam, Ath, Rakal, Mala'ah, Wayabad, Imwa, Iwad, Shabai, Shanyam, Akrawath. Verse 31. Wayara'ah, Yahweh, Kaya, Shanawa'ah, La'ah, Wayapathak, Ath, Rakamah, Warakal, Ikwara.
And back to the English.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what hast thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? Verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country.
So now, why hast thou beguiled me? This is heavy. Read that verse again.
Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
The whole verse.
Verse 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah.
So we're going to let everything in here sink in. Jacob went into the tent after the feast. They were partying. They were drinking. Jacob went back to his tent to take his wife. And Laban was supposed to send in his daughter, Rachel. Instead, he sent in his daughter, Leah. And in the morning, after everything that went down, and remember, they not just, they in the tent. I mean, it's not hard to imagine. She might have had a veil on. It was definitely dark. They didn't have no electricity back then. It was dark. They were tipsy, drunk. He sent in the wrong woman, and Jacob did not realize until the next morning. That shouldn't be hard to understand for some of you characters out there. I know y'all had a lot of nights and y'all didn't realize who it was in your bed until the next morning. Right. The walk is shame. But in the morning, it came to pass, behold, it was Leah, and he came out the tent mad. He came out the tent hot. He said to Laban, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Because he realized immediately, this was not an accident. She didn't do this on her own. Rachel wasn't just off in the cut waiting because she didn't know where she was supposed to be at. This was a plan that was orchestrated by the father. And he came straight to Laban and he said, what is this thou hast done unto me? If sex is not the thing that constitutes and defines marriage, then what did he do to him? He just let him hit. He just let him hit his other daughter. No big deal, right? Oh, I guess I got her too. Now give me Rachel. It's nothing. If sex is not marriage, it's what hast thou done to me because you just dropped another wife on me. This is not who I worked 7 years for. You just dropped the wife on me. I gotta live with her for the rest of my life. How did that happen? And this is a lesson to you brothers out there to think about who it is that you lay down with. This is what you should be thinking after you sleep with some Instagram whore or some slut from the club. You should be going, what did I just do? If she stays, I got to keep her forever. This is the importance of sex being marriage. It makes you think. It puts some gravity and some heaviness on the act of having sex and on who you choose to have sex with. And so he ran out the tent to Laban. What did you do to me? Didn't I serve with you for Rachel? Didn't I serve you 7 years for Rachel? Why hast thou beguiled me? Read on.
Verse 26. And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
So he knew what he was doing the whole time. He said, all right, Rachel's beautiful. And I've seen this happen in real life. Rachel's beautiful. She's well favored. Somebody's going to want her. But if I don't prioritize marrying Leah, she's not going to get married. I need to make sure that Leah has a husband. I need to make sure that my daughter has a husband. But this is a wild way to do it. But, this is why he has this plan. Read on.
Verse 27. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
So he said, look. Just, you got Leah. Now, 7 more years, and I'll give you Rachel too. We good, right? Imagine how crazy that sounds. But what did he say? Read.
Verse 28. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also.
he worked another 7 years for this sister Rachel. Without hesitation, without thinking about it, he wanted this woman as a wife, and he worked 14 years to get her as a wife. He worked 14 years on this man's land for Rachel. Just be a woman worth having somebody work 14 years for. Raise your daughter to be a woman that's worth somebody coming and wanting to work 14 years for. It's not that complex. That's what would make us the great nation that we're supposed to be. Instead, today, we're a nation of whores and strippers and OnlyFans models and video vixens. Just hold, as a man, hold a woman to the standard of being a woman that is worth working 14 years for.
You also think he did another 14 years. His life had been changed because now he got two wives. Two wives. You know what I'm saying? Jacob didn't say this is an unlawful thing for me to have two wives. Now I have to not only work for 7 years, I have to do the due diligence.
Right. I got to take care of these two wives.
I got to take care of this one. I'm working for this one, but I still got to do my due diligence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or what LeBron did to me.
And
I'm
then
still working.
And then he got to deal with the conflict of two sisters being jealous over each other. Because he's still working for Rachel, but he's married to Leah. But now Rachel's watching him be with Leah while he's still trying to get her. That's a lot to put on him.
It's not his fault.
Right.
So if it wasn't his fault and he got, you know what I'm saying, he got conned into the situation, why he could just walk away?
Right.
It was never his fault.
And that's the point. And that's the point.
I didn't sign up for this right here. The contract said this thing. You know what I'm saying? You broke the contract. You done broke the contract. That means it's not my fault. It's all on you. Well, I can just throw her away now. I can get rid of her. Because I ain't got nothing to do with it. Because I ain't got, you know what I mean? I ain't go for you. I know you're around. You're around me. I say what's up.
Right.
But you know, I was caught in your system.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what they can't get around.
So why he didn't get rid of her? Because it was never his fault.
Right. And that's what they can't get around.
Because he knew what he knew, you know what I'm saying? He knew the law.
Exactly.
He knew the law. He knew God's law and what he followed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What you lay down with her, that's what's important. Because
Exactly.
you know what I mean? You gave yourself to her, and she gave, you know what I'm saying, herself to you.
Exactly.
It means something.
And that's why this scripture is all you really need. Because this is he didn't sign up for this. They just sent Leah in the tent, but it could not be undone once it was done, because that was the act that constituted a marriage, not the feast, not the ceremony, not some written document. Laying down with her. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 29. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid.
So now Laban gave, they each had a handmaid to be with them. Keep going. They're going to come back into the picture in a minute. Read on.
Khan. Verse 30. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years.
That's crazy. But and from verse 30, now we're still getting into the complexities, because these are real life relationships. He loved Rachel more than Leah. We knew that from the jump, right? But that's a hard thing to deal with as a woman. That's a hard thing to deal with as a man, because that's going to create conflict when they know that you love one more than the other. But he loved who he loved, right? Rachel's who he wanted from the jump. And he served 14 years for her. Read on.
Khan, verse 31. And when the Most High saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. But
Rachel was barren. And so the Lord gave a little balance out to this, right? So he knew that Leah was struggling with knowing that Rachel was the favorite, and so he allowed her to bear children first. And we're gonna go back to the Hebrew.
Wait, I gotta write that. That's heavy right there. Because with the Most High is should be considered. That's such a heavy scripture because it's also checking Jacob. It's also checking him about don't be selfish. Don't put all your love over here. This is not about love. This is about doing, you know what I'm saying, respecting and growing with each other. You know what I mean? You can't just put one over another. Favoritism, he had a respect of a person. That's what he was doing. And realizing once, you know what I'm saying, once the Most High, you know what I'm saying, intervene and show him it's not what you think. You know what I mean? You got to grow old with these women. You know what I mean? And all that stuff going to fade away. And what you're going to have. Because once he opened, you know what I'm saying, once he opened up a womb, it changed. It changed.
It changed real quick. And that's heavy. And that's that's because this is real life stuff. You know, and you're not supposed to, but people have favorites. And they saw, they knew what it was, and they felt that, and the Lord had to, made moves to balance it out. Like you said, that was like a checking, right? That's excellent the way you explain that, because that's not how you're supposed to. That's not the environment you're supposed to create as a man, letting them know who's the favorite. Back to the Hebrew.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. Wathahar, La'ah, Wathalad, Ban, Wathakora'ah, Shamwa, Ra'awaban, Kaya, Amara, Kaya, Ra'ah, Yahweh, Ba'anyaya, Kaya, Aitha, Yahabanya, Yeshaya. Verse 33. Wathahar, Iwad, Wathalad, Ban, Wathamar, Kaya, Shammai, Yahweh, Kaya, Sharawa'ah, Anakya, Wayathan, Laya, Gam, Ath, Za, Wathakwara, Shamwa, Shammai 1.
So now this is starting to go into the sons that are being conceived. In the last verse, we saw Ra'alban, which is Reuben, who was the firstborn, whose name means behold is his son. This is the progenitor of the so-called Seminoles today. Then we just saw Shemaiwan, which is Simeon. Shemaiwan in the Hebrew means, it's based on that word Shemai, which is to hear. Shemaiwan is I've heard. And that is the progenitor of the so-called Dominicans. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 34. Wathahar, Iwad, Wathalad, Ban, Wathamar, Aitha, Hapa'ain, Yalawa, Ayashya, Alya, Kaya, Yaladathya, Lawa, Shalasha, Banyam, Ail, Khan, Para'ah, Shamwa, Lawaya.
And so now we have Loya, the progenitor of the so-called Haitians to this day. And, just a reminder, because I heard something this week. Don't be, spooky with it. We know who the tribes are based on the prophecies. We can match up. We're able to see who the tribes are and where they are today. But it's not like everyone in the Dominican Republic is not from the tribe of Simeon and not even an Israelite, right? And all the Israelites there aren't from the tribe of Simeon. And there could be Simeonites in other places that, Israel moved around. As we just read, we're like the dust of the earth. So don't be mystified by this, but this is the general sense of who is where. Keep going.
Khan, verse 35. Wathahar, Iwad, Wathalad, Ban, Wathamar, Papaayim, Awada, Ath, Yahweh, Il, Khan, Qara'ah, Shamwa, Yahawada.
Yahawada. Now this is Judah. We're going down through the sons, down through the tribe, Judah, which means Yahweh thanks. Is Yahweh and the water put together. Go ahead.
Khan, Watha Imad, Maladath. Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. Watha Ra'ah, Rakal, Kaya, La'ah, Yalada, Layaikwab, Wathakwana, Rakal, Balakatha, Watha Amar, Al, Yaikwab, Haba, Laya, Banyam, Wa'am, Ayan, Matha, Anakya. Verse 2. Wayakar, Ap, Yaikwab, Barakal, Wayamar, Havakath, Alahayam, Anakya, Ashar, Manai, Mamaka, Harya, Batan.
A reminder, the Hebrew word for anger is ap, which is your nostrils, because what happens when you get angry, your nostrils flare out. And that's what's happening in the beginning of this verse, but we'll see that.
Khan, verse 3. Watha Amar, Hana, Amathia, Balaha, Ba'a, Alya, Wathalad, Il, Barakya, Wabana, Gam, Anakya, Mamana.
And back to the English.
Khan. Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Most High hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
So Ra'al is behold a son. Ra'al. And she said, because surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction, which her affliction was knowing that she was the wife that he didn't really want in the first place. That's a rough thing to deal with for a woman. I won't even hate her for calling that an affliction. That's hard to deal with. But the Lord opened up her womb first. And so she said, now my husband's going to love me, now that I bore him his firstborn son. Read.
Khan. Verse 33. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, behold, the Most High hath heard that I was hated. He hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon.
Because Simeon or Shemaiwan means I've heard. And this is remember our language is this is slang, because white people get caught up sometimes when they see words like hated. He hated his wife? No, he just didn't love her as much as the other one, which to her was like being hated. Y'all, listen, I ain't got to explain women to y'all in this room. I got to explain it to y'all out there in YouTube land. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 34. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. Verse 35, and she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, Now will I praise the Most High. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left barren.
And after 4 sons that she was, listen, the Lord was with her. The Lord gave her something to connect to win over the affections of her husband, and of course to begin to build the nation, the chosen lineage of Israel. Because now we got 4 of the tribes right here already. Keep going.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die.
Now, listen. Listen, we love you, sisters, no matter how dramatic you are. All right, we love you, sisters. We love you as crazy as you are. She said, and you can see a woman saying this today, give me children or else I'm going to die. She's watching. It's not just because she hasn't born children yet. And again, remember, this is real life. Let's think about this. If he had to work 14 years for Rachel, she's not as young as she once was. Now they've all been together, and we're at least 4 children in. So that's another few years. We're about 20 years into when he first laid eyes on Rachel. And she hasn't born any children yet. She's feeling that. And she's not only feeling it, but she's looking at him like, she's looking at Leah bearing all these children to him, and she's feeling like she's going to start losing the affection of her husband, right? So read that verse again.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die.
So she was dying to start bearing children for him. She was really feeling the fact that she hadn't, and she's now watching 4 of his children start to grow up, and she hasn't had any. Keep going.
Verse 2. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel.
And so that's what we just read in the Hebrew, his anger, his op, which is the word which is based on the word for nose and nostrils. His nostrils were flaring out of anger against Rachel. Keep going.
And he said, Am I in God's stead?
So he's like, do I have control over this? I'm trying. You can imagine coming to your husband and being like, why haven't you given me children? How you going to feel about that as a man? Like, what you mean? I'm trying. I'm doing my part. I can't do anything besides what I'm already doing. Keep going.
Who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't withhold that from you. I'm giving you what I'm supposed to give you. I can't give you no more. I can give you some more, but I'm doing what I'm trying. So now he's mad at her because these are just human emotions. This is just a normal argument between a husband and a wife. Read on.
Verse 3. And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
So now she gave the maid Bilhah to bear children for her. That at least that would be something on her side, because now it's like a competition too. So now she's got Bilhah here, and she's like, "Come on, give if you're not going to give, if I can't bear children, my handmaid's going to do it for me." Go ahead. Was that the end of the verse or the end of the set? All right, that's it. That's 7. So I mod him up here.
Call, which means horn. That concludes the Sabbath service. This is the Day of Atonement. Don't forget it. Everybody should be on the same page. If you're watching this video, you should already know what time it is. At sundown today, you can resume your normal activities. Until then, you're afflicting your soul. And you're afflicting your soul for a purpose. And anoint your face. Like Christ, why did Christ have to tell you to wash your face, man? Anoint your head, wash your face, go out there. Don't let anybody else know you're fasting. Let it be between you and the Most High, so that the Most High will see if this secret can reward you openly. Y'all young, which is the wine. Because we conduct the Sabbath service exactly as it is, as the scriptures say, the priest proclaimed the Sabbath in our blameless.
Layasher Allah, which means to Israel.
Which means horn. I imagine in the room, saw plenty of aquadome, which means stand, turn and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Hadash Hayah.
Hadash Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahawah.
Yahawah.
Malakaka.
Malakaka.
Ratazaka. Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baratazah.
Baratazah.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Hashemayim.
Hashemayim.
Efenuna.
Efenuna.
Chum.
Kalyawa.
Kalyawa. Asalakana.
Asalakana.
Kawakana.
Abalakana.
Kawakana.
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 Wala'ah.
Abayana.
Abayana.
Anasai one.
Anasai one.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashina.
Awashina.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra.
Ra.
Kaya.
Hayah.
Akab.
Akab.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Lataparat.
Ataparat.
La'awulami.
Wa'al.
Amun.
Amun.
In the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this
Our
day.
daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our
As
debts.
we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our
Lead
debts.
us not into temptation.
Lead us not into
But
temptation.
deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from
For
evil.
thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Pray for the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Shah.
Baba
The
Kishah.
Thundernote.
Thundernote.
Akah.
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 Larpa'ah.
Arpa'ah.
Kol Makala.
Kal Makala.
Marawa.
Kal Anarah.
Akah.
Akah.
Latahar.
Latzahar.
Tazariah.
Tazariah.
Akah.
Akah.
Lakoyum.
Akoyam.
Amakim.
Amakim.
Akah.
Akah.
Our Kawa.
Arakawa.
Atamal. Our
Latzahar.
son.
Our son.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
The water Amun.
Water.
In the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them
In
out.
the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be.
So be.
Pray for the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Mayakah.
Wa Mayakah.
Wa Alahai.
Wa Alahai.
Matazavia Alawap Yahan.
Tazabia Alawak Yaham.
Halawak.
Halawak.
Hasroni.
Hasroni.
Hakwatziyani.
Akotazayani.
Hakayali.
Akayali.
Wa'akwaki.
Akawak.
Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
Wada Amun.
Water.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Many General Yahan.
Many General Yahan.
General.
General.
The captain.
Captain.
The officer.
Officer.
The troop.
Troop.
And the sister.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be.
So be.
Prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
To speak against us.
Speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
princes.
The priests.
The
The
priests.
Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
In the school.
In the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
Shake loose.
Shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
They refuse to give to the school.
They refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their
They
riches.
enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
The nations.
The nations.
The drug dealers.
The drug dealers.
The court system.
Court
The
system.
prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
The Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian
The
movement.
spies.
Spies.
Works of witchcraft.
Works of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
The Army.
The Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
Any airways.
Any airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access.
The radio channel.
The radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Any of thy people.
Of any of thy
They
people.
seek to stop us.
Seek to stop us.
Bring swift destruction.
Bring swift destruction.
To all the heathens.
To all the heathens.
That stand in the way.
Stand in the way.
Try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
Broadcasting your word.
Broadcasting your word.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
To the earth.
And consume them.
Consume them.
Let the plague shake the house.
Let the plague shake the house.
Of the thief and the murderer.
Of the thief and the murderer.
Let your house shine.
Let your house shine.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Down to fly saucers.
Down to fly saucers.
Punish all the heathens.
Punish all the heathens.
They come up against us.
They come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by
That it is
all.
the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread by the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake like thy
In
coming.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sorry, face the front. That concludes the Sabbath service. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Aymadim Shabbat, Aymadim Barak, Yahweh Matah. Men of Israel, prepare to salute the Torah. And shout out to everybody that's tuning in online. Shalom to the sister Rainwater. Shalom and Padazah. Shalom George Walker. Shout out to everybody. We'll be right back. Yeah, you can go.